Hi everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Yadin. I'm the Director of Marketing for DEX, and I'm happy to host you here today. And we're extremely excited for you guys to be here um, because just last month, DEX, the world's first autonomous IT engineer, has become live and generally available for MSPs worldwide. And we're really proud of it. And we're proud of it and because of the way we actually built this, the way we created this product, because we built this with MSPs not only in mind, but literally by our sides. And over the past few months, we've been talking to dozens of MSPs, running demos, listening to pain points and needs, and taking notes. For instance, some of the requests we've received over the past few months was to add a help desk to the product, which, and I'm giving you a big teaser here, we are currently wrapping up development these days, and it will be available early August. So this is just a glimpse. It's exclusively for you guys to see. You guys are the first to see this, but we'll get to that a little later. Okay, now right now, let's put a pin in that. Um, First, I want to let you know before we even begin that we will leave time at the end of the session to answer anything you want live. But throughout the session, the chat, as you can see, is open. Or Slava, Jana from our team are here and we'll be taking your questions throughout. So feel free to drop down any question you want. Yeah, and you know what? Just before we begin, let's give it a little test to see if the chat is indeed functioning properly. I want to start off with a question for you. Crack those knuckles and please answer me this. What is your biggest pain point right now? Except, of course, sitting through my lame online activities. What hurts you the most? Password resets, onboarding, offboarding. Let's hear you in the chat before we begin. It's very important for us. It might sound like an online game show, but it's very important. We're gathering all this information constantly, so hearing from you guys is always important. Robert says USB selective, suspend, password reset. Thank you, Ferdinando. Keep those answers coming, you guys. It is very important for us to understand your pain points. Let's get a few more answers. I don't know if we're having any lags or laggings or oh, I see some more. On-site support. Thank you. Monday morning amnesia. Amazing, guys. Great answers. Keep throwing those our way. And I'm actually glad you're mentioning these issues because the good news, and here's the little trick that I'm doing here, is that DEX can help you solve exactly these types of problems. And we're going to cover all that today as we take you through DEX's main abilities and features. Features like global apps, which allow you already to manage and run apps like your RMM and ticketing systems from a single source and apply them to all of your tenants. Features like multi-tenant tasks that you can run task once and execute it across all tenants. And an all-time crowd pleaser, white labeling, so you can put your name and brand and company on top of DEX in front of your client, which is always great. And many more, like full audit log, per tenant billing caps, and 100% transparency, so you know exactly what the AI does on every single task. But we'll touch upon all that throughout this demo. All of these features are already live, running and solving tickets for MSPs as we speak. And I'm sure you're here because you're curious to see those features. But we as a team are curious too. And I'm a curious person. And because I'm the one holding the mic right now, I'll take advantage of that and I will go first. And I will ask you one thing because it's very important for us to understand. Before we do anything, a quick poll. All right, we're going to turn on a quick poll to see where you stand. What matters for you guys the most? A customer-facing solution, something that resolves your end users' issues instantly, or a technician-facing one, something that takes the grunt work off your team's plate. Poll is on right now. Please start voting. And let's see what you guys are saying. I'm not getting the results yet right now. Please start right now. It's open for you guys. We're going to give it a few seconds. All right. Hilly, it's working. Everything is functioning properly, right? Because I'm seeing the poll. I'm not seeing the results right now. Okay. Okay, good. We got it. We got it. It's working. We got 56% customer-facing solution, which is also good. Very interesting. Almost half, right? And I'm a little bit I'm a little bit tricking you guys here again because yeah, Dex actually does both equally. And the same engine, right, that resolves an end user's request on the spot is exactly the one clearing the queue your technicians would otherwise be grinding through, which means Dex doesn't only improve your work, but it simplifies the work of your admins and their end users too. And it does it in a very, very simple way. Now let's start hearing a little bit more about Dex. I know you've been waiting for this. Dex is built like an autonomous IT engineer. It doesn't work like another chat box or agentic tool tools like that are out there currently and constantly needs your guide to instruct it. Because when a user has a problem, all they need to do is write to Dex. That's all. And Dex immediately kicks into work and starts investigating. It plans the fix and it resolves it 90% of the time before it even becomes a ticket. All right. And by doing so, Dex, of course, saves you the time without growing your expenses. And that's why we keep emphasizing that Dex is the perfect solution for MSPs. But I've mentioned that. All right. So let's talk about our session today instead. Who's going to be with us here today? And who are we? Who's Dex that came to you out of the blue on Meta, on Instagram, on Facebook? We are the team behind Dex. This is us. And today we're going to give you a glimpse. We're going to run through the product. Unfortunately, Israel Lifshitz on the left, who founded this company, who built the technology behind it, he could not be with us here today. But Hilly, our director of product, who owns every part of this product, will be here to give you the full run through. And me, of course, I'll be moderating this session. I'm the person whose face been chasing you around Meta over the past few weeks. So we are Dex, and we are part of SysAid, which is a global IT service management company with over 24 years of experience and over 3,000 customers worldwide. Companies like Xerox, Honda, Toyota, Motorola, and others, which includes governments and defense clients. SysAid was founded by Israel, who's the one who also built the AI product that got us named in the 2025 Gartner Magic Quadrant for AI applications in IT service management. There we are, up there, right there in the corner. Good spot. Somewhere next to Google and other big customers, big companies like Salesforce, etc. So we operate basically as a startup within SysAid. All right. So Dex operates quick and lean, but we're not just yet another startup popping out of the blue. We are part of a mature, well-established company with a technology, knowledge base, and talent. And we are operating very quickly. AI on steroids, everything. Very quick, small team. And we want to take you on a ride with us today and to present to you our product. So let's start off with giving a little bit of context. No, Donald, Dex doesn't only work with SysAid. It can integrate to any of the other PSAs, ticketing systems, etc. We'll get to that soon. So let's start off by talking about your reality. Growth has always been a cost problem for you guys mostly. Every new customer means more tickets, right? And more customers has always meant hiring more engineers. So this kept margins thin for years, but it doesn't necessarily have to work that way. So here's the shift. You offload most of the work to DEX, your autonomous IT engineer. The gray bars here, which are customers, right? They can keep climbing, but your team stays flat. DEX handles the volume that used to force you to hire, so growth stops being a cost problem, right? New customers flow straight to margin, and your engineers move from firefighting to the work that actually matters. Okay. But, right, we keep hearing those promises all the time today, right? You keep hearing about all these new tools that are going to make your work so much more efficient. But at the end of the day, you're still doing the work, right? And that's the difference here between DEX and other tools. We'll dive into it. You'll see in a minute a lot of examples. A co-pilot suggests an answer. Then it hands the work back to a human, all right? Automation tools go one step further. They act, they run the script, but they stop short of the outcome, and someone still has to verify, follow up, and close it, right? These tools don't do much of the work that you are doing. They don't identify the issue, diagnose, diagnose the problem, find the root cause, plan solution, and finally execute and report, of course. Now, excuse me, you actually have the chance to have your own autonomous engineer that does it all for you. And this is where I'm going to hand it to Hilly to talk about the product, to show you how it works. I gave you a very long build-up. Let's, excuse me, see how it operates now. Hilly, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Are we still sharing? Because I'm not seeing. Oh, sorry, my bad. So thank you, Yadin. Thanks. So just let's start with the basics. For years, we saw that automations were basically writing the code for very specific workflows, only to rebuild them again and again when someone changed the setup, your customer changed something in the flow, and it felt like the work was never actually done. So DEX completely changes that. And you're not building the automations anymore. You're actually hiring an employee. So DEX shows up on your first day and it already knows the job and it can handle whatever random ticket that comes back from a customer, from an end user, even if it's the very first time that it sees this type of ticket. And let's see what it looks like. So an employee simply messages DEX, and first thing, there's no portal here, there's no ticket form. They just type in Teams or Slack, whatever they use. And then DEX identifies who's asking. So it will go and identify the profile, their department, their devices, their preferences, maybe their past issues. And then DEX gathers all this context, and we'll see it in a moment in the demo, and it understands it before doing anything. Then it starts the investigation. DEX looks across all the connected systems that you have in place to find the real root cause and not just the symptom. And before it acts, it checks the associated policy. So every possible action, whether it's access to a resource or running something on the device, is checked against what you've determined when you set up DEX. If there is no policy, there will not be an action. And then it also goes and executes the fix, or maybe if you believe that this flow requires an approval from an admin, then it will route to the approver. And it reports back with a summary of what it did. And this is the entire loop on a very high level. We can see an example of this in the slide. And DEX, it's important to note that DEX is not replacing any of your ticketing systems or any apps. It works alongside, I saw that you've already asked in the chat, it works alongside your PSA or your RMM. So if you have a PSA, whether it's ConnectWise, Autotask, HaloPSA, everything stays within your system of record, and Dex opens up a ticket from anything it can't resolve on its own, or you might want it to open a ticket for any task, regardless, to keep the audit trail. And the difference is that most issues never get that far because Dex has already handled them. So across your stack, your Microsoft 365, Intune, Google Workspace, Okta, Jump, Dex can work on those and resolve tasks. Just like the PSA, as you can see here, also connecting natively to your RMM. So if you are using NinjaOne, Datto, Atera, or any other RMM, we are natively connected with them. And I think we gave you enough build-up. So let's dive deeper and see Dex in action. And here's a plan for the next few minutes. So we're going to do 3 things. First, I'm going to show you how quickly it is to onboard and set up a new tenant. Then I'll show you how Dex works. We'll start off with a Dex resolution without any ticket connected, with a solution up front. And finally, I'll show you how you can control Dex, all the policies that are associated, the guardrails, and how you keep it aligned with your business. So far, we talked about Dex, and now let's actually hire him, because that's the mental model for everything that you're about to see. When you bring on a new IT engineer, let's stop for a moment. So think about Dex as a new engineer. When you bring them on, they need to learn your environment, your tools, your policies. They need to be tested, and then they might start taking tickets. So Dex works exactly the same way, except the whole thing takes minutes to onboard and not months. And let's go. Let's see it in action in the product. So we'll start with a recording. We wanted to make sure everything runs quickly so you can get through the onboarding as well. So this is the admin center, day 1 for your new hire. And I'm going to show you how fast Dex goes from knowing nothing about your environment to autonomously resolving real tickets inside it. The journey starts right here with the onboarding. If you're an MSP, one click on this button just turns your account into a multi-tenant workspace. And this means that every client gets their own tenant, their own policies, their very own Dex. Before we see Dex in action, we promised you a full onboarding, so let's connect your first tenant. Dex supports both Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace organizations, and here we'll connect a 365 one, we'll give it a name, then we'll select the Microsoft 365 and drop in these mock credentials. Of course, they're not real. And one more thing for everyone on this webinar, use the promo code on the screen, DEXMSPLIVE, and you'll get $25 of resolution credit for every tenant that you connect. Now, the tenant is connected, and we're going to start onboarding. First thing a good engineer does is learning about the environment. So Dex runs in a very a deep discovery across your 365 directory. So you can trigger it from the button that we see at the top or type in the chat. And see how it starts mapping your tenant, your licenses, users, groups, Exchange, SharePoint, every part of it, every policy that is connected to these resources and actions is being discovered. Also worth noting that this process is read-only. No changes are being made to your environment at this stage. And this discovery is actually the foundation for everything that Dex does next. It's not operating on a very generic environment. It's operating on your actual environment. Once the discovery is completed, we see here all the different apps from Microsoft. And you can also choose the rest of your tech stack, your ticketing system, your RMM, your different business apps. We have dozens of pre-built integrations, and we're adding more and more every single week. You can connect and run discovery on them right now in the onboarding flow or later on from the App Store. Now, the step that matters most, reviewing the policies that Dex drafted from everything he just discovered. For each 365 app, Dex has mapped the resources and the actions that he detected. For example, if we go into Entra ID, you can see all the discovered resources. Let's go in. And on the left side, we'll see all the discovered resources and their associated policy on the other side. Every policy is editable, who is eligible, what is the access rule, and mostly whether it's an action that is auto-grants DEX to complete or requires an approval, and from which approver group. Just like access to resources, you have policies for actions as well, and you can configure it from here. And I want to take a moment to emphasize the fact that these policies are the deterministic boundaries for DEX. So this is not AI will probably behave in a certain way. If a target requires an approval, there is no way around it. DEX will follow the policy strictly every single time, and we'll see it in a moment. Now, the policies were reviewed, and one click turns all 9 discovered applications, and they're now live in DEX. Right now, DEX is powering up, connecting the apps, loading the new actions, access rules, skills, automations. Think about it as your new hire getting all the credentials and equipment that it needs. Now, your new hire has learned the environment, and it's your turn to put him to the test. So these steps runs real tasks against your real environment, what you connected. You can try one of the suggested prompts or type your own. And this is an opportunity for you to test the experience for the end user and tweak it and fine-tune further before they talk to DEX. Once you're comfortable, you go on to rollout. And this is when you'll add end users or your entire groups. Here we'll add all employees, and they'll get access to DEX right inside Teams or Slack, whether based on what you've decided to connect, and there is no new portal, no new habits that they need to learn, then you can customize also the messages we saw, and DEX is rolled out. And now the initial onboarding is done. But like any good hire, there's always room for skill up. The control center surfaces these high-impact next steps like device agent and custom skills. And we're moving on to Teams. DEX is now onboarded, and we're going to try a classic request from an end user asking to join the retail team. In most IT orgs, that's probably a ticket and then a few hours wait. Here we see that DEX immediately gathers all the context, who this user is, whether they're eligible under the policy we defined a few minutes ago. And here's also what we'll see is that deterministic boundary that we talked about in action. The retail team requires approval with a business justification. So the user types in that he was assigned last week to this team. There is no ticket sitting in the queue. DEX instantly sends a Teams notification to the approver, who can then approve or reject this request on the spot with all the context. So we'll see it in a moment, how it looks on the approver side of things. And the moment the approver hits approve, DEX will automatically resume the task, going back to the end user's DEX. There's 0 idle time, and just like that, you can see in the chat that that the team was added for that user. That request was solved end-to-end without running through different hoops. And that was a request. Access, approvals, provisioning, but a lot of IT pain isn't requests, it's actually issues. So let's break something. Before the demo, we ran a script that planted rogue files and different processes on this device to slow it down. And the user does what users are doing, complaining about their computer being slow in a very vague way without many details. And here we see that DEX immediately starts diagnosing across the relevant apps and more critically through the device agent that we deployed with DEX. Pulls all the right skills for the job, like Mac device troubleshooting skills. And this is normally a remote session for you, probably a desk visit, maybe 30 minutes of a technician time. DEX is hunting down the root cause on his own and finding, even though we really buried down these files, these rogue files on the device. The root cause is found, and notice how DEX doesn't just start deleting files on the device. He comes back to the user, explains what he found, and suggests a few options for how to fix it. This is the same principle you saw in the onboarding. Again, autonomy, but inside guardrails. We act on an end user's device. It's a very sensitive operation, so the consent is part of the flow. The user picked an option, and now DEX executes the resolution end-to-end, killing all those rogue files, cleaning up the files across every place that the problem is identified. DEX also closes the loop here, like a good engineer would, with a summary. So in a moment when DEX finishes going through all the files, and this is a very long process, it takes time, it shows everything that it did, what it found, how it solved it, and some recommendations to prevent such issues in the future. Now, the question every admin is asking, what does it look like on my side? So let's jump over back to the admin center with a live view of the tasks. You can see it from the control center or from the activity log. This is your single source of truth. Every task that DEX ran for end users or for admins, even the setup steps themselves are here. Let's open this task, and you can see the experience of the user in the chat. And if we want to go deeper, we'll go into the steps. This is where we can see the thinking, the decisions that were handled, the different automations, different skills that were used, the API calls, everything. It's a glass box. So you can see it all. You can find ways. You can see how it works and why DEX did what it did. And then we also can look at, of course, the resolution. In some cases, it will run a script that it created on the fly based on your skills. And even in the quality tab, we can find the different, the number, how much time it would have taken a human IT admin. Next, let's go over to the App Store. This is the brains and muscles of DEX, and this is where DEX gets its powers. So there are dozens of pre-built apps ready to connect. And if you have a custom app with an API, you can connect it straight away under 2 minutes. You don't need it to be a pre-built app. And just like you saw in the onboarding, every app you connect goes through the same deep discovery process. So DEX understands your policies for that app and the skills and automations that are available through the API. Now, let's close the loop on something from earlier. Remember that retail team request? Let's go into the Teams app and find that policy. We're gonna look for the retail. Here it is. And as we can see here, this is a reflection of what your end users just experienced. This is the policy. It requires an approval, and this is why the flow acted that way. One more part that matters to a lot of you, there are hybrid environments. We know that. If you're running on-prem, we created the local Active Directory app. And this is a way for you to leverage DEX, even if you have flows that are running onboarding, offboarding, movers, leavers, using the AD locally. And in addition, you'll find the different skills, which are instructions for DEX on how to go about a certain task. So everything so far has been per tenant, but as an MSP, some tools span your whole business, your RMM, your PSA. That's what global apps are for. So we're going to go into the global apps. And this is where you'll see how you can create you can connect an app once, define the skills, the actions from a single place, and DEX keeps a very strict per tenant isolation underneath. So there is one configuration, but we won't have data, of course, shared between the clients. For example, say you want a ticket created in your PSA for every task the DEX resolves in HaloPSA. You can define it here. You can map your tenants, create the skill, and this will be done from a single place. Now, as Yadin mentioned, branding on all of it, your logo, your colors, even that little dexing copy that you saw in Teams, everything can be renamed after to fit your identity. And finally, everything so far was DEX working for end users. Now, DEX Pro is DEX working for you, the IT admin. So let's take a very time-consuming task like analysis of licenses and maybe optimization of your licenses and sending a report to your customer. And this one, as an MSP, might take a very long time to do for every tenant. Here we can see that it asks you if you want to run it for all your tenants. We approve this, this part, and it will start, as you can see on the left, to run simultaneously 29 tasks, optimizing, analyzing the different tenants, and finally, we'll see how it provides you with a report that you can share with the customer. So here we have a report. You can see all the licenses, and you even get the recommendations, and you can download the report and send it to your customer. And this was done under 2 minutes. Now, let's just recap what we've just watched end to end. So we've started with onboarding an autonomous IT engineer in minutes. You watched him resolve a request with a very fuzzy device issue with no predefined scripts, without any escalations, but having a full audit trail. And he also saw DEX scale across every tenant that you manage under your policies and your brand. And that's DEX. And with that promo code from for this webinar, DEXMSPLIVE, you also get extra $25 for every task that you run. And just go ahead after the webinar. We encourage you to sign up, break something, and let DEX fix it. And I guess now you might be curious about what it will cost you. So I'm going to hand it over to Yadin to talk about the economics. Over to you, Yadin.
Thank you, Hilly. That was a very, very nice, elaborated demo. I think it really enticed a lot of people and brought up a lot of great questions. Keep asking them. Our team is here. We're answering them on the spot. So yeah, let's talk about money. This is where DEX is genuinely different. Someone just asked this question, and I saw that responded. So let's dive in. Most IT software bills, most IT software, they bill you for a per seat or per subscription, as you know. You pay for capacity whether you use it or not. And here at DEX, we do the opposite thing. You pay just for what you use. For DEX, you just pay $199 per resolution. Each ticket DEX actually resolves. And as Hilly showed you, you can actually see what it did. If it was not resolved, it's stuck. It's not going to charge you. Once it's resolved, big or small, That's when you get charged. No seats, no subscriptions. In addition, on top of that, you get $100 in credit when you get started. That's roughly 50 resolutions, which is great to get started and break something, as Hilly said. But I mean, now you're probably thinking, what does that mean? What's 199? How do you know if it's high or low? Well, we'll give you the logic behind this. We did our research, and I want to anchor this against what a human handle ticket really costs you. So Metric Net's North America benchmarks put a level one service desk ticket at about $22, right? Level two at $69 and level three at $104. Now, Dex resolves the same work, level one through three, for $199 flat. It's not a discount. That's just a different cost structure. No matter the ticket, that's what you pay. That's it. Yeah. So, and here's what we're offering, as Hilly mentioned on this call, on top of the $100 free dollars, another $25 in account credit for every client you connect. So if you have 30 clients, well, you do the math. Well, you get 25 for each client. All you have to do is head on to dex365.ai. When you connect your tenant, it's real simple. You'll see a little coupon field. You add DEXMSPLIVE to unlock it, and that's it. And that's it. You just start playing with it. You don't put your credit card up front. You just start working with it and see what works for you. And now we want to give you the stage. We know you already asked a lot of questions and you got a lot of answers already. But we're going to find some questions right now. If you have them, feel free to send them our way, and we'll pick them up live right here, so you can hear our beautiful voices reply your questions, not only see the text that we write. Yeah, so let's see what we got here. Hilly, did you see anything interesting? SOC 2 type certified. Let's start with this one. A question that comes up, Josh is asking, are we SOC 2?
Yeah, so as Yadin mentioned, the DEX team is part of SysAid. SysAid is SOC 2 certified and lots of other certificates. You can find it on our website. Also, specifically SOC 2 tests are being tested right now for specific aspects of DEX. You can find the full security knowledge on our dex365.ai/security on the website. You'll find all the information. If you still have questions, please reach out to us about that.
Ross is asking if there's a recording. Yes, this is recorded right now, and you will receive an email after this session, so you can watch us again and again as much as you want.
Jan asked about access to IT Glue. Yes, IT Glue, you might have seen it in the global apps. This is one of our native global apps available for MSPs. We know this is, again, one of the feedback that we heard. We know that you keep your knowledge base in IT Glue for all of your tenants. It's available as other MSP native apps.
I see Akbar is asking, would your solution engineer help us get this set up in our environment? We built this to be very, very easy, self-serve kind of thing that you can do by yourself. Very simple onboarding process. However, if you do need help, we're right here. You can reach out, get in touch, and we will love it. We'll be on the call within minutes, hours, or days. We're right there, and we'll help you get started if you need help.
And we're going to save time for a quick sneak peek to our upcoming feature, right?
Yes, I totally forgot that we promised them that.
But it's we're doing it freestyle, so we're gonna
so
show
here it is.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're hearing a lot from MSPs that we work with, because it's really, really fast, but what we're seeing here, maybe we can start from the beginning and make it a full screen. But what you're seeing here is actually coming out in the next very, very soon. And this is our
Oh,
Dex help desk, a sneak peek into keeping your tickets, your requests and incidents in a single place. You don't have to switch over. So you'll see here that you have all the information of the regular type. Let's play it. I think it's oh
yes,
no.
I know what happened here. Hold on.
Great. So yeah, we can see here the requests and um, hmm, this video doesn't want to go full screen,
Oh,
but
no,
but actually from the table, hopefully you can see it.
it's hard to see.
Yeah,
Let me give
I
it
think
another.
that was actually a sneak peek.
Yeah,
We
a sneak
really
peek.
wanted to show more than that. Uh, but if you are if
Soon.
you'll
It's coming
yeah,
soon.
you'll log into DEX in a few days and you will probably see this ticketing area, which will also have soon AI generated tickets and other very nice features. So let's go back to the questions. If we have any more that were not answered. Yes, it can work with Atera. See, I see 14 new. How many endpoints does your largest customer have? So it really changes. So we have, and basically since Dex is connected to your RMM, it doesn't really matter. But hundreds of endpoints, this is many of our customers are managing hundreds of endpoints in Atera, in Datto, and so on. You can find all of the integrations here. Yes,
Uh,
thank you all.
Another popular question a lot of people ask, how long does it take to integrate? How long does it take to get Dex running? Well, literally minutes, not weeks, like you might be used to. You connect the client's apps, set your policies, brand it, and test everything in the playground before you roll it out. And there's no long implementation, sorry, project. It's
Yeah, so Robert, again, sorry for your to your question. Yes, capable to scale with the endpoints. Right now, we're about a month in general availability. So the customers are in the hundreds of endpoints. Um, is Dex capable to work with tactical RMM and OS ticket? Yes. So many of the apps are pre-built, but again, from the App Store, which we showed you, you can connect any app with an API and it will run that same very deep discovery to identify all the policies and create the skills and connections.
and
Uh,
and another, while you look, I'll just up top of mind, another question that people a lot of times ask is how does it work with your current ITSM? Well, you can look at it as another perhaps layer that sits on top of it. So it can open a ticket in your ITSM so nothing falls through. And
or
when
PSA for, yeah.
and yeah, and or keep it to file and keep everything organized. And when Dex hits something that needs human judgment, it doesn't guess. It escalates to a person with a full context of what has already been investigated. Yeah, and then again, you don't pay until it's resolved. So if it got stuck, it's not resolved yet, you don't get charged that 199.
I see a question from James. Do you support ConnectWise PSA on-prem? We do not currently support on-prem for ConnectWise PSA. We do support ConnectWise PSA on cloud. Okay. I hope we haven't missed any question.
If we have, we can send you guys an answer afterwards. See, we're working AI here. We get the transcripts from this webinar. We look through everything. And then if something hasn't been answered, we just shoot you guys an email back. But I think we haven't missed. If we have, feel free to ping us right now before we end. We have a few moments before we end the webinar. So we're still here.
This is another great question from Johan. Can I use Dex Pro to update certain docs inside of IT Glue? Yes, definitely. This is one of those use cases. You don't have to go into the different administrative interfaces. You can do it from Dex Pro. Actually, you can do it either from the admin center that you saw or from Teams or Slack if that's where you work. You will get your Dex Pro available from there as well. Fred.
Fred is asking what specific safeguards, Hilly, prevent cross-client data leakage or unintended solutions. Talk about the isolation, maybe the fact that
Yeah. So every tenant has its own database. What you saw as the global site is an umbrella that is actually surfacing some of the data to allow you to work more efficiently. For example, we saw the activity log that is showing you the aggregated data. However, everything is fully separated in terms of the data. The skills, the apps that are connected, the guardrails that you set. We didn't see it in the demo. Again, very short demo because we don't have a lot of time, but the nice thing about it is that after this demo, you don't need to wait for a meeting with us. You can log in and see many more features that we haven't covered today, like, for example, that guardrails. You'll see that you can define different guardrails per customer. There are there's a lot of focus on security and data, keeping it all separate for your customers. Let's see if we have a few more.
maybe Matt's question.
Where is it? Okay. In the event of those unattended actions, would Dex assume liability like Fred mentioned? And now I need to read Fred's.
Oh,
So let's see. Okay, I know some of this was covered, but specific safeguards prevent cross-client data leakage or unintended actions. OpenAI recently. Okay, I think these are much, much deeper, and I do want to answer, and I might not have all the answers, and we have a great team of architects that can review those questions. We will send you all answers to these questions. Do we need to disclose with our clients? So all the legal security aspects is available on our website. We tend to keep it all very out in the open.
and any personal questions regarding your specific account, just shoot us an email and we'll hit you right back. Cool. I think we are getting close to the end. And just before we go, just another reminder of this benefit for you guys. Go ahead and connect your first tenant, put your credit to work. You've got $100 free plus $25 for every tenant you connect. Dex365.ai. Just try it on a real client. Watch what happens. If you don't like it, fine, but give it a try. And we want to thank you.
Sorry, Yadin, before we close, because there are answers about the credits, how to apply. When you go into the product and you click add tenant, that's after you've converted your account into a multi-tenant account, then you'll find when adding the credentials of your tenant, a promo code field. That's where you type in the DEXMSPLIVE promo code and you'll get the $25.
25. The 100 is already built in. Implement. Once you open an account, you got 100, start spending it. Yes, so it's pretty simple to get started. Folks, we had such a great time. We always love hearing questions from the people who actually use the product or potentially use the product. We hope to see you on Dex. Email us with anything you need. We'll send this to you. You'll see the video again. Go back to it. We have demos on our YouTube channel, on our website. We have Trust Center on our website. Everything you need, and we're available. It really means a lot to us. Thanks, Hilly. Thank you for the team for being here. Go put Dex to work, guys. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much.